Ladies and gentlemen, K Kim here. Welcome to the Daily Update. Hope you guys had a good day trading. Today, market is up 0.5% on the S&P. NASDAQ actually did see more strength today. It's been lagging quite a bit, so it's good to see the NASDAQ starting to catch up a little bit here with a 1% gain. Semiconductor about 1.5. Dow is kind of flat there. Small caps about 1%. Banks are flat. Energy is down about 1.3. Transport is flat. Biotech is up about 0.4%. Emerging market about 1%. Grayscale Bitcoin caught a bid there, about 3% positive today. Gold and silver slightly up there, about 1% each. We got, oil down a little bit, pretty much flat. Dollars down about 0.5% there. Treasury bond is up about 1%. VIX is down about 1%. So let's stick with the S&P. Spider 65-minute chart here, and you can see we've been in this very tight range. I really zoomed in here, but this is a very, very tight range we've been in this week ever since we saw that big gap up on Monday morning, right? So that was a gap up and rally on Monday morning here, as you can see right there. This was where it closed on the on Thursday, right before the Good Friday market closed. We came to the market on Monday morning. Market gapped up here, as you can see, and then we rallied. Ever since then, we've been sideways. There's a reason for that because, well, we realized after Monday's move, we were in extremely overbought condition. Looking at my oscillator, and at the time we thought about the market is probably want to rest a little bit before running higher again. So we rested about 3 days, and then today we gapped up, clearing above prior resistance here. You can see we gapped up, came down, and retested prior resistance as new support. And that's the first hour today, second hour, third hour, fourth hour, fifth hour, and sixth hour. So been pretty much just grinding higher. And it looks like the gap wasn't totally filled either. You can see that little bit of gap that was open. I think that provided that kind of that jump start here. We talked about how when the gap is not fully filled, it's gonna favor. If it's an up gap, it's gonna favor the buyers. If it's a down gap, if it's a down gap, it's gonna favor the bears. But in this scenario, this was an up gap. Bears came down to fill it, but not able to fill the entirety of it. Buyers showed up, and then we just been marching inch by inch all throughout the day today. So market continues to make a move to the upside, continue to grind and march higher. And we haven't retested my short-term moving average. Last time we did was back in March 30th. You can see we got close but never retested. We got close, never retested. We're still tracking on that short-term moving average. And as long as the price stays above the short-term, we want to continue to give benefit of the doubt to the buyers. So check out that oscillator though. So, the oscillator has been very, very important because as the market continues to march higher, we really don't, because this is now, price discovery, right? Because we're at historical highs, printing new all-time highs every single day. We do not know where the next resistance is going to come. We're getting into the Uncharted Territory. So I think the oscillator is going to give us kind of that good, a gauge to when the buyer is going to get tired. You can see right here, we talked about how when the buyers got tired, and with 3 days of sideways, you can see how they made the oscillator to reset. I mean, basically price didn't go anywhere, just really tight range sideways, but oscillator tanked, which we talked about yesterday. And prematurely we did bounce, and this is a good sign. It didn't come all the way back down to the this support, but you can see how quickly we bounced back up here. And there's a lot of bullish pressure. I mean, the oscillator's been already in these higher lows, and you can see we came down, stopped short, crossed right back up with that gap up today and continuation to the upside. Not only we crossed up, because yesterday this is what it looked like. This is what it looked like yesterday. So there was no sign of any kind of cross or nothing. It just looked like it just was, you know what I mean? There's no sign of anything where these two lines are meeting up or anything like that. But I think with today's gap up, that's what happened. That's the first hour, second hour, and then all the way 3, 4, 5th, 6th hour. You can see that it made a move to the upside there. So there's still room to be made. They're not completely, bulls are not completely tired at this point. We still got, they can still push it like they did here. You know what I'm saying? So this is going to be important level to kind of pay attention to. I think of, you know, if we do see some kind of shenanigan down move to the downside, let's say tomorrow, right? That would be a bearish divergence at that point. If this thing started crossing back down like that, let's say, we don't have that yet, but let's say we want to give benefit of the doubt to the buyers. But tomorrow morning we come to the market gaps down or some kind of shenanigan sell off, and then we see this thing coming back down to 406 or something like that, then you will see this thing coming down, making lower high on the oscillator and higher high on the price action. That would be classified as bearish divergence, which then at that point we want to assume that price want to come back down, at least retest that short-term moving average, currently trading at 405.60ish, and then there's a gap area around 403. But I am getting ahead of myself. I'll tweet things out if I see that divergence or anything like that. You guys enjoy this evening, and good luck trading tomorrow.